Alright, so today's video we're taking a look at a starlight projector. That's why we're kind of in a dark environment. But anyway, check out a few images, give you a little more details about this actual device, and then we'll take a look at it actually in action and talk a little bit more about it. Okay, so as stated, we're taking a look at this little starlight projector, if you will. It is USB powered, and it uses a barrel connector on the other end. So you will have to keep up with that. It's not going to be something that you can just switch out very easily. There is an off and on switch right here beside of the actual plug. And on the top, of course, you can see where the different projections come from, including the little sort of like a crystal ball kind of a look. And on the bottom, if you choose to run this off of batteries, you can do so. It will use 3 AA batteries. That's up to you. USB is just fine. The cord, it's less than 3 feet, so placement's going to be relatively close to the actual place that it's plugged into. I'll go ahead and set this over here. I'll plug that up. So it comes in this little box right here. So one thing I noticed about this unit is that it tends to be just a little quieter than some of the other units, because when you have this sort of galaxy motion going on with sort of this cloudy kind of look, you'll see it in a moment projected. There's movement that's created, which gives it a really cool look, but some of the motors are a little bit loud on some of these devices. So setting it on a bedside table, for some people that may be too much, they can't handle that noise. Other people, it may not bother them. This one, although you can still hear it, it does seem to be just a little bit quieter than some of the others out there. So that's potentially good for some people to know. And you of course have this little user manual, which is actually a lot more information than I would expect to have. And you have a sort of credit cards type remote, and this uses a CR2025 coin cell type battery, readily available, pretty affordable, so not a big problem. You can set up schedules and timer type setups. You can adjust the colors. You can adjust the different brightness levels, the speed. You can also, of course, turn it off and on, or set it to auto mode and just let it run through its own little cycles. So yeah, pretty good amount of options that are controllable right here with the remote. And I don't know there was really anything else. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. The unique thing about this particular unit is not only does it have the projector light, but it also has sort of a, well, I want to say white noise machine, because but it's a sound effect machine, probably be a more accurate description, because you have different sound effects and even a lullaby type sort of sound, which I'll give you a quick demonstration of. So it's kind of unique because it kind of combines 2 devices that you may already have or may want to have into one unit, so it takes up less space on your desk or on your nightstand or wherever it is you have. So anyway, let me turn this on right quick. So we're going to flip this switch over here and turn it on, which I'll go ahead and do now. And if I turn it like that, you can probably see that a lot better. So let me go ahead and turn this light off. Alright, so we'll make it dark as possible. So there is a sort of a moon. It kind of like a hot air balloon, but it's a moon in place of a hot air balloon, and a person looking out of a scope in a basket. So there's that option there. There's of course the green, I guess you would call them stars, and then you have, I call it the nebula or galaxy type look. So you can have those in different, setups. Of course, I like auto mode. It uses a combination of all three, and it just kind of blends through and cycles and different things. Of course, you can turn it off and on. And the good thing about this is, like, I'm pointing the remote at the camera, so you don't have to have it in direct line of sight. That's a really good thing, because sometimes things can block. And again, you can adjust the brightness levels. You can adjust the speed. So if I slow it down, you can see, hopefully you can see how really slow that's moving. And if I speed that up, you can see how much faster the movement is. So there's just a quick run-through demonstration of the actual sounds that can come from this. So again, you can get sound and the kind of light show going on. One or the other. Really depends on how you want to, have the setup going. But just a quick demonstration. And again, this is very, very quiet compared to the others. So this one will probably be the least bothersome sitting on a bedside. But I find it to be pretty cool. I think these are just interesting anyway. This one, it may not cover quite as much area as some of the other devices that are similar to it, but it covers a pretty decent amount of space. And if you're sitting on the nightstand, it's going to project pretty much where you can see when you look up on the ceiling. So it's going to be adequate, I would say. I don't have an exact measurement on how much space it covers, but from the height and distance, that's going to also, affect what output you get. The closer you get, the further you get as far as how wide and everything. But sitting on this table, which this table sits, if I remember, like 29, 30 inches off the floor, and it's probably covering at least, I don't know, between 6 and 8 feet. Coverage on the ceiling. So anyway, that gives you a little bit of an idea of what to expect. I think it's pretty cool. It's probably one of the better units that I've taken a look at. Probably more worth what you're paying for it, because you get the sound added to this, and because it's quieter, it's probably going to be less annoying. Even my father could hear one of the other units, and his hearing is not as good as it used to be, but he can still hear the sound of the motor on some of the other units that I had, because him and my mom were kind of playing around with those, and just, well, my mom was playing around with it, Dad just had to deal with it. Put it that way. But by any means, this is probably a pretty good deal overall compared to the others. You have the battery or USB powered option, which is really nice. The only real upgrade or improvement that I could see would be to change the barrel type connector to Type C ideally, but even micro USB, because then you have an option to just grab cables anywhere you want. They could be larger or smaller depending on your needs. Turn this light back on, turn that off. So by any means, yeah, changing the cable would be ideal if they make a new model of this in the future. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say or any input to add. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I would say just check out the links below. You can read more about it, find out anything that I didn't cover. If you want to find out more specifics that maybe I didn't answer in this video, that should help give you an idea of what's going on with the actual device, and of course the images preceding the video should tell you that as well. But otherwise, that's it. Thanks for watching.